Hi everybody, welcome back to Stoic Quotes. Today we've got a new addition to the lineup. We're going to take a quote from the big homie Cato, and it goes a little something like this. I begin to speak only when I'm certain what I'll say isn't better left unsaid. Not bad for the first quote that we're doing by Cato. Of course, one of the most I don't want to say illustrious, but he was an illustrious senator in his time, but also he was one of the main thought leaders, to use that weird-ass business jargon, in this for Roman philosophical and political thought and social thought at his time. I begin to speak only when I'm uncertain what I'll say isn't better left unsaid. A lot to unpack in this one. Essentially, what I think Cato is trying to get at is to, firstly, not to speak unnecessarily. Nobody likes somebody who just talks all the time, and I mean, this is something that I struggle with a lot, because once I really get into the flow of it, you can't really shut me up, and some of my friends have likened it to you can just switch the channel and I can talk ad nauseum essentially about anything. So it's something for me that's a little bit kind of near and dear, and sort of like, it's kind of a roast to people like me. But again, I think what Cato is trying to say is that we should not the sort of speak when spoken to type deal, but almost as though you don't have to chime in for everything. Sometimes it's better to listen. Sometimes it's better to listen and to consider everything. And I think what he's also trying to say is that if he has a thought that's not properly formed, perhaps you shouldn't just put it out there when it's not finished. Essentially, you have to act as your own censor, not in the negative way, but you are in charge of what you say. You have to own it, and you need to be the one to bring the idea and the thought to essentially to gestate. It's essentially like giving, not to disparage mothers or anything like that, but it's like giving birth to a kid, right? Whenever you put an idea out there, you have to make sure that it develops properly in order, before you put it out there, in order for it to be essentially a good idea. If you're just talking out of your ass, it's not going to be, nobody's going to take it seriously. And then if you're known for that, then essentially people are just not going to listen to what you've got to say, because they'll just be, oh, okay, well, there he goes again, just, spouting off bullshit. Let's drone it out. It's white noise at that point. So that's why I like this quote so much, because it does promote that virtue, like, okay, let's be mum that 2 ears, 1 mouth thing, in the sense where you really need to read the room, you need to take ownership for your idea, and you also really need to, and ownership of the idea, not just master slave type thing, but in the sense of you need to make sure that it's properly developed before you share it with other people, because if anything, you're probably doing them a disservice if you're just talking out of your ass. Everybody has an opinion, everybody has something to say, and if the idea is not properly developed, not only does it harm the person who's putting it out there, because it undermines their credibility, but you're also depriving everybody else of a chance to hear a really thoughtful and fleshed out idea, because who knows who's it's going to help. Who knows how that idea could have changed lives, or could have changed the course of anything, if you had just waited and developed it properly. Perhaps that's a little bit of an extreme tangent to go down, but that's what I thought of at first when I read this quote. Also, I think that there's another side to this coin. There are some things that are better left unsaid. Again, depending on the conversation, or depending on the situation that you're in, sometimes it really is better just to shut the fuck up and not say anything. But I think what he's trying to get at is that you can have these moments with people where you don't have to talk. or there's an elephant in the room and you both just know about it. And some things you don't have to say it. You both know what's going on. You can just sit there, have that conversation in silence, if you will, and just leave it unsaid. Because, again, sometimes some subjects can be touchy, and also, like, if you don't want to be retreading old ground as well. Anyway, that's my thought on this quote for today. Have I completely missed the mark? Have I done it justice, if you will? Drop a like on the video and a comment down below to share your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. And as always, thank you so much for watching.